So how do you build your action plan for grappling with big process, right? And at Forrester, a lot of what we're doing now is really helping customers define their playbook for success around whatever the initiative is, right? How do you go about building that plan? So I'm going to walk you through 3 big things you can do today to get started, right? The first piece is to embrace big process methods and techniques, right? How many of you are doing some sort of lean initiative or have lean within your organizations? How many of you have Six Sigma? Okay. What I challenge you to do is to begin bringing in business capability maps, right? How many people use business capability maps as part of their BPM initiative? Okay, I see a few. You heard John Verbert with CME talk about capability, right? Building new capabilities as a big piece. Getting the big process view really requires you to adopt capability view, right? A little bit higher level, looking at the end-to-end value stream and the capabilities that need to change or new capabilities that need to come in to deal with that end-to-end value stream view. And then also value chain analysis and value stream analysis. These are big process methods that we're seeing customers bring in that deal much more holistically with process. Think of things from the customer perspective as opposed to the back office perspective. So these are big pieces. And we typically see these as, not everybody's adopting them, but we want to see these numbers go up. So definitely look at these, start thinking about these in terms of big process perspective. The next thing is, I already told you this, the other challenge is find your data people, master data management, data architects, whoever they are, hug them, become best friends with them, go out to lunch with them. Talk to them about data. Talk to them about how do I get data and process working together, right? This data, we did the survey last year around process data management, a term we have for MDM and BPM living together, right? And what was amazing is really we don't see a lot of groups or a lot of roles that actually can deal with process and data, right? You see the business analyst or data architect, process analysts, some business architects, but we want to see more process architects, and we want to see this none go away. There really should be a role that can deal with process and data. And one of the predictions I didn't put up here, I'll go out on a limb here, ultimately in BPM a new role will emerge that can deal with data, understands data modeling, understands CP correlation modeling, but also understands the process side. Right? And that'll probably be in the process architect role, but there's definitely a need to beef up on data and understanding of data. And then the last piece is adopting new tools and architectures. So actually beginning to think about target operating models, right? How do I actually bring in a target operating model view that can look at what is the outcome that I want? So on the right-hand side, the touch points between the customer, my partners, and then the regulators, so the different constituent stakeholders, but then what are the different outcomes and channels they're coming through, business lines, but then what are the business processes that support them? And so this target operating model view really says, this is what we're going for, this is the outcome we're trying to deliver, but these are the processes that are actually connected and how they're actually able to connect to deliver a differentiated service or business service. So I really challenge you also to take a look at target operating models. We have a lot of research on target operating models, and there's a body of research out there across other industry leaders that look at this. But the idea is to start developing this more business-oriented view around process that brings in and looks at business strategy and outcomes. And so the last thing I challenge you to do, to go back to our original theme, is when you're thinking about big process, ultimately it is about holding on, right? This is definitely something you're going to see over time, not just from Forrester, but definitely we're seeing other industry experts start talking about this bigger view of process that brings everything in. It brings in package app, it brings in BPM, custom development, and starts thinking about process in a 21st century way, that it's going to change. There is a continuum. It's going to take dynamic case. It's going to take the traditional business process perspective. But more importantly, it's going to take you adopting these tools to actually drive this new view and to hold on. and bringing that data view in as a big, big piece. So I've given you a lot of homework, right? You got your homework? You got your homework? I'm coming back here next year, so I'm going to come back. You're going to be sitting right there, and I'm not going to do the same presentation next year, thank God, right? But what I would like to do is actually come back and ask people, ask customers, you guys, how are you dealing with Big Process? I want to be able to do a report card on you, right? To actually say, like, okay, these are the areas you're really doing well, these are the areas you're not doing well, right? To really deal with this 21st century view. So I'll leave you with this picture and hope it doesn't give you nightmares. I hope it inspires you to start thinking differently about process. Thank you.